I may be a parent for the first time, the child's just been admitted to the child school, and we've never met before, but, you know, they know my story. I know their story, because we've walked down the same path, we've had the same obstacles, we've had the same fights, the same dreams, the same hopes. And yet, when you are looking for a place to give your child the best possible opportunity to reach their full potential, and you find a place like the child school, and you find a place that has a Sheila Snyder, it makes it so much easier as a parent. So although I'm always hesitant to talk on behalf of anyone else, I'm sure what I have to say about Sheila is shared by each and every parent whose child ever set foot in the child school while Sheila was our admissions director associated with the school. Again, I invite you to make comments on the Riverside Chapel site, but if you read those comments, the family knows it just speaks volumes of how much we appreciated Sheila and what a big part of our life she was. When you look at those comments that we talked and we heard shocked about the developments, the word that came up most often was friend. Sheila offered the friendship to each and one of us, each and every one of us as we came to the school, and it never left. She always asked, how's your son doing, how's your daughter doing, how's your wife or spouse doing? And she did it with class, she did it with compassion, she did it with a smile. When I think maybe the best way to perhaps give a brief tribute to Sheila is just to share a few personal stories. Sheila had a magnificent gift for optimism, for hope. She never let you get down when you had a bump in the road, you had what appeared to be a crisis. Sheila was there to always tell you there'd be a better day ahead. And she was so happy when every child got admitted. And one of the things she would always say in the beginning to everyone was, just wait, I'm going to come back to you in a month from now. Just wait, you won't believe the changes in your child. And sure enough, she'd come back about a month later, and for the rest of our lives with the school, she'd say, you see, I told you, notice the changes. I've seen even more changes, and she'd be so excited for us. She was a very, very special woman, and very, very special. Personally, she was the person who actually was instrumental in my getting involved in the child school with the Parents Association. Hopefully no one's blaming her for that. But she, along with Tina, thought that it would be a good idea for me to become more active. And from a personal level, I certainly owe that to Sheila. She never missed a Parents Association steering committee meeting. She never missed a function. And she was always there to contribute. When it was time for Brendan to graduate 2 years ago, my son, Sheila came up, she had tears in her eyes, and told me, you know, it's wonderful that Brendan's graduating and we're going to let him do that, but you can't graduate. We watched you around for a few years, and I held that feeling so close. One of the toughest things I had to do this year was to break the news that she was passing. I learned about it in the late morning or early afternoon hours of one of our scheduled meetings. And it was not the type of news that I could possibly write an email to the members of this committee who were among Sheila's closest friends at the school. So I waited until people joined the conference call or were present for the meeting in person, and started the meeting by just telling them that we had terrible news. And it was disbelief, obviously an emotional meeting, and we weren't able to conduct any business that night because we were so overtaken by the news. But as we tried to put this together in the last few days, we know that we had strength, we know that we had Sheila looking over us, and my opinion, in my mind, I know that Sheila's looking down today and already saying, stop, you're saying too much about me. told Sheila that she was going to be one of our 2 honorees this year, it was turned into be a very difficult conversation. As I called her, it was met by immediate silence. And all of a sudden I heard this crying, sobbing from Sheila, and through the tears she tried to get out a thank you and also say that she didn't deserve the honor. And I said, well, yes, you do. And it was difficult for her to gain her composure, and that's how much the school meant to her. I did try to maybe tell a joke and tell her, well, you got to start thinking about who's going to do your hair and what new dress you're going to buy. And she laughed and cried at the same time. But I want you to know how much this award meant to Sheila, how much all of you meant to Sheila, and how much for all the students and graduates that are here, how much you meant to Sheila as well. We talked about what she wanted to say today. We talked about what I might say. And the theme that I had then, and the word that comes to my mind today, is really friendship. And I had to change one of the quotes I wanted to use. I was thinking about perhaps you've got a friend in me. A friend would be happy to know that I made a reference to Toy Story. Or that's what friends are for. And I thought about You've Got a Friend Too, written by Carol King, of course, performed by a lot of people, mostly by James Taylor. So I'd kind of like to end the comments as follows. To Sheila, with your passing, more now than ever, when we're down and troubled, and we need a helping hand, and nothing seems to be going right. Now we can close our eyes and think of you, and you will still brighten up even our darkest nights. Because in you, Sheila, we always had and always will have a friend. Everybody, it's with great honor that I asked Sheila's family to come up. Cindy and Eric, you come up and please accept the award on behalf of your mother.